I don't think I'm limited by anything. Your client has more impact on your health more than your doctor. You really have to be careful with the kind of clients you're dealing with. I wish I had not known the internet earlier. For me, I think the community found me. I didn't find the community. Your design itself is a token of a proof of concept. Focus more on quality work. Why? Because even if you network and you don't do quality work, it won't be sustained. This is the time more than ever to become a generalist. Sometimes I feel like I should have spent more time designing for fun than designing for money.
Designstration.
In this very course, I will be teaching you how to create vector product illustrations. Basically, these are illustrations that motion graphic designers, animators, product designers who design websites, mobile applications, those scalable illustrations that these designers can use to enhance the visual in their project. In this course, we're going to cover in-depth from brief to the finished product. Basically, we're going to study step by step on how and where to get inspiration for your project. We're going to work on sketches for the project. We're going to develop the character. We're going to work on full-blown character design, and we're going to vectorize those illustrations and go on to edit the vectorized illustrations. Basically, it's a complete beginner's guide into vector product illustrations. Uncle Leye, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Fox. Hi. Did I call you correctly?
Yes, Fort. Welcome back to the show. We've had Leye on the show before, and it was quite intense, the level of wealth and knowledge he brought to us in previous episodes. So we had to invite him back again. And in as much as we've done introduction before, I would really love for you to introduce yourself again for those who don't know you. A very brief introduction. Just tell us about you. Who is the man Leye?
Okay. My name is Oyeleye Ogunsanya. I am a designer. I currently lead the design team at Risevest in Nigeria. Yes. Also, yes, that's true. Yes. That's a very good short introduction.
Introduction. Let's get. And how did you begin your design journey in general? Right? What was it like for you being a rookie at the first time?
Okay, so I think you're asking two questions. How did I begin my design journey? Or what does being a rookie feel like?
Yeah, let's tackle the first one first, because we're going to the next one.
Design tickled my fancy for a long time. And from being interested in design, I think I said it before on a lot of spaces on Twitter that we have walkway. I finished from University of Ilorin, so we have walkway on Ilorin. So I go there, and you know how people make posters on the wall.
Yeah.
You can paste like 5-6 copies of the same program. So I just take one, take it to the hostel, and just sit, and then I'm not interested in the program. I'm just interested in the design. And I had unbridled curiosity. I don't hold back when I'm curious about something. I go all in. So I just take it, and then I remember then my roommate used to get bothered that this boy, you go out and come back with papers. Is everything fine? So I had to explain to him that I became interested in design. But I didn't start design then. It was just something I loved observing. That led me to started critiquing towards design. I mean, I started feeding my eyes on design. So I actually did not start design. I started critiquing towards design. And service year was when my design classes took off. When my design lessons started and the classes took off through the Meiji. I made the Meiji, taught me design, started designing, and we are here. So what does it mean to be a rookie? Or what was my rookie period like?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not feel the kind of pressure a lot of people are feeling now, because I wasn't active on the internet then. So I was a rookie in private. I was not a rookie with a lot of eyes and a lot of social media accounts noticing me. I was a rookie in a very comfortable way. I was enjoying my process. In fact, if you ask me then, what did I think about myself? I'll tell you I was a pro back there. So I was enjoying the whole process of learning design without pressure, without the pressure of trying to be like someone, trying to look like someone. It was just exploring, trying to ensure I can replicate this design, spending a whole weekend saying I'm comfortable that this looks like what I've seen on Pinterest or Behance. So my rookie period was quite enjoyable for me. I'm saying my rookie period because the rookie word is quite relative. Rookie relative to what? So yeah, my rookie period relative to where I am now.
No.
Is It was quite an enjoyable process, fun, because I did a lot of exploration. There was no pressure for delivery. No client was after my neck.
Yeah.
It was just me opening my laptop and shooting out designs every day, every night. So it was a very smooth sail for me. No pressure of looking at what other people are saying, doing, and then feeling depressed that why am I not like this place? Fun fight was an enjoyable period for me. I enjoyed the whole idea of trying to figure things out. It was exciting and exhilarating. If that was of energy running through it and excitement.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, at that time, did you have any clue as to there's a design community already? Did you know anything about such within your space?
No. Again, I came to the internet late in my design journey. So a lot of people will say earlier, I'll tell you it's late because I've been designing way longer before I came on the internet. So for me, I think the community found me. I didn't find the community. That's an easier way to put it. I started realizing that, because then when I started tweeting design, I noticed people don't tweet design. Then what people tweeted were thoughts. But I just started figuring that I did not have so much to say other than pictures. See what I just designed. See. So I started tweeting more of designs, and the fun fact around it is I did not expect it to gather so much attention. That was my own tweet in my own corner. And people started noticing and it started gaining traction. So, and then I started realizing that the actual design communities, but I was not community driven initially. I just wanted to be incredibly good at this and finding my way around it. So communities found me. I really didn't find a
Community. I mean, it makes sense because you are one of the in the community today. So
Yes, I started realizing that
makes sense.
I take a lot of fulfillment. I derive fulfillment in teaching design to people and realizing that something they were struggling with a day or two before, they are killing it now. I don't know. It's a token of fulfillment is deposited in my head every time I witness that.
Right. That's great. What would you say was the pivotal moment or the moment you actually realized that has helped your understanding, that helped shaping your understanding of design from where you started out today? What was that pivotal moment that, wow, it just shaped your understanding of design? It sort of catapults you to the next level.
So my inflection point. Okay, I've been having takeoff points or preparation for takeoff points. Sorry for using Rosto's stages of development. But I've been having takeoff points that have been coming on, and one of them, before I get to my inflection point, one of them was I started designing for churches outside the country. From there, I started designing for members of the churches who are outside the company and have businesses in those countries. And when you see your banners in a foreign country on a billboard, that's a wild statement.
Yeah.
That triggers my dopamine receptors. I'm bloody excited. At the same time, I'm building confidence. Okay, maybe I'm not wasting my time. Maybe I can really, really make money from this stuff. Proper money. Maybe I can build a house with this. Maybe I can buy a car with this. So that started happening, and seeing your designs on banners, I don't know. When I say we are a current designer, that's what you do for a living. Me, I wasn't. So it started giving me this confidence. It was like reinforcement, instances of reinforcement for me. But the biggest inflection point that I remember is engraved, is etched into my memory, is when I did the independent contract for Mzita, and one of the person I report to, who I sent designs to, made a comment. He said, there's a design I did. Okay, so he made series of comments. I'll just put the relevant on that they have been trying to give this client the design after 5 iterations. Mine was the 6th and mine was accepted. He said he saw it and was like, this is what he's talking about. That he doesn't know how I did by design with a magic hand. And that was a very big confidence booster for me. The second statement he made that stuck to me to today is the fact that I said you can literally design anything you want to design. That he called me a mirror, that all they have to do is show you a design. You literally can spin it up. That even if you don't know how to do it, give him 2-3 days. He will give you back exactly what you're looking at. And I started realizing that I don't need to box myself by saying, I'm a brand designer or I'm a UI UX designer. It doesn't multidisciplinary. Even icons, illustrations. It discovered I would do practical illustrations before I discovered it myself. I mean,
Wow.
during that COVID period, he gave me a list of illustrations to do, and I was like, okay, I'll try. And I was like, no, it doesn't think I need to say I'll try that. He has seen my work. He believes that I will kill this, that you will nail it, don't worry. And boom, went at it. I outdid myself because I realized I was entering untapped regions of my potentials. I never knew I could do character illustrations. He said, trace it, reimagine it, draw it. You draw now. I said, yes, we're on a Skype call then. He said, hey, draw it and then see what you come up with. So there was this crazy trust deposit that was reposed in me. And it seemed as though he trusted my design more than I trusted him. And it just was like, a guy, I don't think you understand what you are capable of doing. That was, so it was like an unveiling for me. Like a veil was just removed that you can be anything you want to be through design. And that just gave me a mindset shift that there's no design you can't do. Give him this. He was telling someone on the call that just give this boy 2-3 days. It will turn around with a good design. So yes, that was my biggest pivotal moment. The biggest of all.
That's great. I mean, to think that you actually started out with foreign clients, that's a flex.
Yes.
Or okay, on its own, that's a flex. I mean, for the most part, quite a number of designers, especially within Nigerian demographic, ours would be 5K logo. I mean, I'm not saying that say you didn't do that.
No, I did do that too, but I didn't stay long in that region. And for me, doing that was still while I was perfecting my logo skill. So I'd rather do logo for you at a very cheap rate, or probably for free. I just needed to try my hands on something. But while I spent what I would call a long time there, in retrospect, I didn't even stay long there at all. 3 months. And then getting a studio reach out to you and say, no, what you are giving out on the 5,000, we'll pay $5,000 for it.
Whoa.
It's crazy. But yeah, I didn't discover myself. People discovered me. That's in summary. It's not that I discovered myself and I'm like, oh, I'm going to this is the price I'm going to be charging. Now people discovered me and people placed the price point that was crazy higher than what I would have imagined. And yeah, that spurred me to start reading about the business
Of design.
Wow, okay, why is everybody willing to pay me more than I'm willing to charge? Astronomically more than I'm willing to charge. Wow. Something is wrong somewhere.
I mean, it's still 5K, but the currency was just,
No, 5K in Naira I don't have to charge. Per week, the person was willing to pay 5K in dollars.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the value of the currency.
It was that's changing that sign and change your life. And it did change my life.
That's true. That's true. I want you to share with us an anecdote of a moment in your journey that was a mistake, some kind of mistake you made, one very keen mistake, but it brought about a very valuable lesson to you.
A moment or moments.
Touch it. In the early days,
Okay, so
what would be the moment or moments or
okay, one is a very common rookie mistake. I did not used to back up my files. I was using a Windows laptop then. Lenovo. I don't know if a lot of designers have gone through the Lenovo valley.
I started with Dell.
Okay, you did you use Dell or Lenovo?
Dell. I do use Dell.
Did you use Lenovo at all point?
No.
Okay, I've used Dell too, but it was very low level Dell. Then the Lenovo was a bit high level. Something happened. I was using HDD, not SSD. Lights went off suddenly, and my laptop one doesn't last long. Light went off suddenly, and I've been warned. I got it fairly used. It was not brand new, off the shelf. I've been warned that try to avoid your laptop dying on you suddenly. Try to ensure you are the one who turn it off. I was so engrossed in the design. You know, when you enter the zone, your flow state, you don't want any kind of distraction. I just kept designing till this thing went off, and I had one strange sound. I don't know. After hearing that strange sound, I was very bothered. I was unsettled internally. Like, something. I don't mess up. Like something has gone wrong. My heart is just failed.
Wow.
I can't explain how, but that was just it. It just packed up. I had to go and spend money on replacing the hard disk card. I did not have a backup of any of the file. It was harder now because I was now trying to struggle to come into my flow state. So it was a rookie mistake of back up your work. So permanently all my works are backed up. Thank God for Mac and the cloud storage. So I learned that lesson, and then I started, for most part, even if I have to back up my work, I still use external SSD. That's why it seems as though I'm paranoid. I will still use my external SSD. That's the real computer to me. You can change my computer anytime. I can reinstall my tools. But you see that's my portfolio. Please.
In there.
It's in there. So the second one that really stuck to me is so I did a design for a client. I really loved. Okay, so I would preface it by saying you don't get too emotionally attached to your work or to your clients. It doesn't end well. I looked back in retrospect, they never ended well. There's this thing where clients come to you and say that we have been together for long. Don't worry, just do it. You are like a brother to me now. You two are just feeling that you guys because you love design. So you are not primarily after the money. You can compromise on even if it's 500,000, bring it. I'll do all the work, everything, because you enjoy what you are doing. At some point, that client will forget that they pleaded with you to collect that money. And they start to address you like they paid you probably 10 million or 8 million. I don't know, wherever you're in design journey. And at that point, there's no going back. You just have to deliver. A client who was nice at the beginning can be very condescending along the project. It could be due to stress or transfer of aggression or the lack anger management. There are clients like that, and I have a handful that I've suffered from that. You have to, at that point, it's no longer you becoming just professional. You have to go beyond being that professional threshold to being very, very docile. You must not respond the way they are talking to you, because some people cannot be angry at the center. Till the project, you just have to manage it to the project. And so I've had bitter experiences with many clients, Nigerian clients, who made me realize that I probably don't see a future where I'll be designing for a lot of Nigerian clients. I don't have to. I mean, I stopped a long time ago, but I saw that back then. I don't see a future because for most parts, I have my flaws. Sometimes, and my turnaround time, I tweeted the other time, I see a problem with turnaround time. If I tell you tomorrow, most likely it's the day after. Not because I lack integrity or because I'm not reliable, but because it is very possible that it's that tomorrow time I'm telling you I'm going to deliver it to you that my creativity juice starts flowing. And I can't deliver at the time I agreed to. So I'm still learning that lesson, but I don't pray people experience clients from where they really exist. There are people who would tamper with your mental health. People will tell you that why do people even think you are good? You are terrible, you are not even as good as you think. They would make you doubt your skill level. And I remember a friend telling me that your client has more impact on your health more than your doctor. You really have to be careful with the kind of clients you are dealing with. So yeah, bitter experiences with clients a lot, but strictly on design. So I've talked about professional rookie mistake of backing things up. Client level bitter experiences, yes. And then there's this last one, the design level. This one is my fault primarily. I did a design that I like, the UI design that I liked. I mean, NDA will make me talk carefully. And the target audience are elderly people because it's pension. Elderly people who want to take off money from their pension funds. And I used 16 pixels font size. Okay. For a mobile phone. But the design was perfect. Beautifully designed, multiple colors. Then the people who they did beta testing with, all of them had glasses on. Wow. Gray. Aged. And they were like, I can't see this more. Yeah. It's small for them. There are too many colors. Can you just make it black and white? Complain after complain after. And I was just there on the other side on the Zoom. And I was just like, okay. I just developed code fit. He said, so the person, and I really appreciate him till today because he made me witness that focus user interview of testing it first time. And I just learned a lesson that you really have to know who the target is. Forget what you think is fine design. Forget what the people who are calling to come and do fine design also think. Because when I was designing it, it was a shared creativity process. He gives me his idea, I give him my idea, and we find a common ground. I was like, oh, spill colors in. Even his own idea had to go. My idea had to go. With my font choice, everything had to go. Yeah. And we now have to focus on what they need because they are the reason why the business exists, is the customers. So I had to change it to barest minimum. The smallest font size was 18. Bold. Pure black. Don't make it gray. Don't make it anything. So that they can easily see it with or without glasses. And so I took another 2 months to rework everything from ground up. After they did it the second time, the people who were doing the interview forgot that they were meant to tell people the process. They were withdrawing their money on the spot. They were using it like it's the half is already live. And they were like, prof, you are not saying anything. Say, oh, am I meant to give you feedback? I'm already withdrawing my money. Wow. That's how I got to know that, yes, it worked. It worked. It clicked into their mental model of how they expect heuristic to be. But the app wasn't fine. But for them, it worked. That's what counts. So that was a very terrible lesson from that. It's not fine. There are some things you do. You don't. Once you understand your audience, you understand what is needed to be done. You're not just following designing trends. That's why sometimes I don't follow design trends. Yeah.
This is actually my first time hearing and learning about actual product where the aesthetic cutoff mark was not there, but based on functionality, so they gain admission.
The functionality, they needed it to work. Aesthetic for them is clarity, as little color as possible. And for them, they want to see things, give it proper spacing. At that point, your hierarchy has to matter. So design fundamentals still matter, but at this point, straight down to the barest minimums for them. And your buttons have to be very big. The bare.
Exactly.
So there's no
Elderlies.
They are not doing like this. They know exactly where to place their goals.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's great. What would you say is the most important mindset a design rookie should have?
Okay, I would just share mine. And it has led me to this point. I don't think I'm limited by anything. If it's designed that you're moving pictures on your screen, you can do it. It may take time. You are going to put in your hours. You can't. There are some designs I look at now. I smile because I did. When I saw it years back, I was like, this is the best. Now I'm like, I wouldn't want to say with it. Your eyes get refined over and over again. So there's absolutely nothing. So don't get easily carried away with other people doing great stuff and you're like, oh, when will I be like this? You will be like that. You're on the same path. Focus on what you are doing and how you can make it better. So you don't get carried away with what other people are doing and that comparison trap starts happening. You will get there. If it's money you want to make, you will make it. It's all a matter of doubling down and owning your craft. I have a wide belief that I can achieve any height of design I want to. I don't know. It's almost like delusional. I don't think mine is delusional. It's realistic because I've been hitting my goals through design. So I don't think I'm limited by anything design. And secondly, you need to practice a lot. No matter your height in design, just keep practicing. You can never outgrow that point where you say you have gotten to a stage where you don't need to do so much of design again. You will rot easily. Just keep practicing and you'll be fine.
Let me touch on something when you talked about when you got the feedback from the project you worked on about the elderly's Buddhism. How would you advise design rookies to handle certain criticism? And I'm not trying to enclose it to criticism that are obviously disruptive and not well constructed, but criticism in general. But I want you to touch on both constructive criticism and destructive criticism.
Criticism in general, nobody ever outgrows it. So I would give you advice. I would give it by saying it is more or less like adding a manual to a product. You know, people add manual to product, but people don't read it.
Yeah.
You buy a product and probably you won't read the manual. So that's how this advice should be taken. But please probably read it this time. I still suffer from time to time because the thing about designers is a portion of our emotion is always involved in everything we design. Delight. Even designers that claim they're just doing it for the money, a portion of their emotion, a portion of your affection is poured into what you are doing.
Yeah, true.
So when it is denied, it is almost like 1,000 heartbreak from a lover. So for every time they say, no, we don't like this, there's a bit of crack in your feeling that happens internally. I still suffer from it. But I know how to manage it better now. So this is where I come to constructive, that's criticism in general. Constructive and destructive criticism. On the receiving end, your work is what they are criticizing, not you. Your work, different from you.
My emotions are in the work.
Yeah, a portion of your emotion are in the work. So definitely you are going to feel it. But your work, not you. If you don't reorient yourself and tell yourself a year that what is criticizing is the work, not me. He's not saying that I can't design. He's saying this design is not good enough and I can do better. So you have to see from the other side that a measure of trust has been reposed in you to trust that you can do better than what you have delivered. That's constructive.
Yeah.
It's constructive in intent. In how it is presented, it may not be constructive. The person genuinely wants you to do better than what you have done. But the how and the manner in which it is presented could be faulty. It could be unprofessional. But understand the why. What does it mean by saying that this is still not good enough? It's because he believes I can do something better than this. I've said it because you probably work with people who will look at your design, who spend long on it and will dispense it and be like, no, go and start over again.
It's rubbish.
It's rubbish. They are not calling you rubbish. They are saying this design can be better than this. The reason why I'm saying this is because your own threshold for receiving criticism has to be higher than the average. Average in the sense that it doesn't matter how the person presents it. Don't box yourself that, it is when it is presented right, you respond properly. You can say respond properly even when it is not presented right. Some people are terrible communicators, but they have good intents. Don't take away the fact that they have good intents. But how it is presented could be faulty. could be demeaning, could be condescending, could be downright and entirely heartbreaking. But
you're not trying to make excuse for bad character
yes,
from the client. All right,
yeah,
go ahead.
but understand the why.
Yeah.
Some people are genuinely sinister. Know that one for a difference. There are people, no matter the design you show them, they are looking out for the faults. That's what they are primarily interested in. It's a terrible outlook. You may not want to be answered people for too long. You may need them, but you may not want to be answered people for too long. So they don't damage your self-confidence or your sense of being a good designer. They don't damage it. Because if you stay around some people for too long, you will veer on that mentality that there's nothing you do. So it's not going to be perceived as good enough. So every designer need people. They need that spark in their head from time to time that they are getting things right. People need to reinforce and reassure you that you're on the right track, as much as every other person, every other profession does. So that's the not constructive criticism. The constructive criticism process is usually that you acknowledge the person has done something good. You acknowledge and you single out all the good things you see that you like. Then you single out why you are not liking it entirely by mentioning the things that makes it short of your entire accolades. Now, let me say it again. You did not single out the things that made it bad. You single out why you are not liking it entirely by mentioning the things that make it short of your entire affection. This thing will have been perfect if you change this font. This thing is not good. Go and change this font. You have not highlighted anything good about the design or the prospect of it becoming good. But you'll have said, this design will have been the best thing ever you have ever done. Just change that color. So you have given him a goal to reach to by telling him that the best design you have ever done is possible only if you change this color. Not this design don't make sense. Just go change that color back. You are not giving him something to aspire to. Oh, this your design banks. This part, go change them. It will bank by a higher degree. You are giving him something to aspire to. So every time you want to critique someone's work, try to give them something higher to aspire to. Or place the accolade ahead that until you change this, then you get this. So it's the same way of saying that you probably would be the best designer I've seen so far. All you have to do is change this. This design will make perfect sense if and if it is that there's nothing about a design that makes sense, the way it is being worded matters. This design will make perfect sense if you probably reevaluate your entire process from ground up. I trust you. I know it's something you're capable of doing. I just need you to sit down, take your time. So this is where people need emotional intelligence. The way it is being worded and how it is being presented matter a lot. The presentation is as important as what you're saying. That's how you know you're dealing with someone who gives constructive criticism. The way the manner it is being presented is quite as important as what you're trying to correct.
Listen, that's pretty fascinating. That's fascinating. I had an episode with one of the episodes on the podcast with Adezi, and she mentioned this that you've talked about, like exactly the same way you mentioned it.
She's boss. Adezi is part. No.
No. No.
Part of.
It's the Leye one of African design. So, and I really love the way you are highlighting it also. One of the things she also said was also sometimes it's about our ego as the designer. It's not we don't just want to accept that something is wrong because we want to have she called, I think, the godlike factor in the sense that God created everything and said it was good. Well, I did the design, it's good. And the client shouldn't tell me it's bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think in as much as sometimes there'll be, the bad character kind of clients.
Even designs that are not criticized can still be refined. The thing about design generally is that no design is entirely at its finished state.
Yeah.
At the zenith or at the apex of its existence. Every design, that's why you hear to like version 1, version 2. Every design can be improved upon. If all designers produce their best work, then there will be no continuity in work. If Toyota produces their best car and there's no 2012 model, 2013 model, 20, probably the whole of everything can be improved upon. That's the whole mystery tied to our very existence. But let me not go philosophical with your question.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I personally have one of the many mantras I say with respect to design is that every design can be worked out. That every single design can be worked out. That's true. That's good.
It's time for a quick break. We will be right back after this break.
In this very course, I will be teaching you how to create vector product illustrations. Basically, these are illustrations that motion graphic designers, animators, product designers who design websites, mobile applications, those scalable illustrations that these designers can use to enhance the visual in their project. In this course, we're going to cover in-depth from brief to the finished product. Basically, we're going to study step by step on how and where to get inspiration for your project. We're going to work on sketches for the project. We're going to develop the character. We're going to work on full-blown character design, and we're going to vectorize those illustrations and go on to edit the vectorized illustrations. Basically, it's a complete beginner's guide into vector product illustrations.
You're welcome back to the conversation.
Next question would be, how can a newbie, a rookie designer, how can they balance between mastering their craft and networking so as to belong to a community that, give feedback and, possible collaboration and the likes of that? But how can they balance between these two without one suffering at the expense of the other? Yeah.
I went to greet AY. AY is my friend. I went to greet him at his apartment, and he was eating one porridge, and he was like, "Do I want to have a taste?" I told him I'm full already, that I'm not taking porridge, and he was like, "No, are you sure I don't want to taste out of this porridge?" I was like, "Why?" He said that this porridge is nice. Have I ever invited you to just come and eat it? I don't think the food is sweet. So I said, okay. I just said, let me just have a taste. Truly, I had eaten amala before getting this place, so I don't like that feeling of overfeeding. I just had the taste. And did fireworks was just setting off in my head that this is nice. Clear the food, and it was like, it told me. So I just asked him, where did you buy it from? Told me the name of the woman and her store, and apparently from me, I invited 2 other of my friends to come and have a taste of her porridge, and that's how I started patronizing her. She didn't do advert for me. She didn't need to send me flyer.
Yeah.
I tasted her work, and I went to look for her. It's the same way with design. Fun fact, a lot of people know that woman till today. She's not far from Abula Palace here in Ibadan. Primarily because her project is one of the best. Same thing with archive in UI, but like design work is your design itself is a token of a proof of concept. I consider all my design work marketing materials. Any work I do for a client, I give it the very best so that if someone else sees it, that's why I don't watermark my design. My design will speak of me. You will look for me. That's my own conviction. If I design for you, if your friend sees it, if your coworker sees it, they will ask you who did it. They will ask you to send his number, and they will call me. I don't need to watermark it. I don't need to put my phone number under it. If it is quality, it will speak for itself. So I have that conviction, and that's what has led me here. My conviction is proved because it has led me here. I never ever reached out to a client. They always reach out. People tell me, oh, we saw you work somewhere, we want to work with you. Oh, we saw you work, you did a work for somebody. So that's why I had to warm up to the idea of networking. It has always been big to me. Focus more on quality work. Why? Because even if you network and you don't do quality work, it won't be sustained. So the primary variable here to look at that I think is fundamental and should not be compromised on is your ability to do good design. Good design will speak for itself. Good design always speaks for itself. It's as simple as that. It's every of your designs are marketing material. Anything you put out, people look at it. It reinforces the idea of your skill set. I don't even need to know you. I will look for you. Fun fact is, a lot of people I follow on Twitter, I don't have massive following. I'm one of the best designers I've seen. I just like some of them don't even follow me back, and doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean that. I see your design, I hit the follow button. As simple as that. There's not a concern whether what is follow back. You hit the follow button, turn on post notification. It's as simple as that for me. If you focus on, I consider it on equal scale. If you are focusing more on networking and your skill is not, and that's why a lot of designers know a lot of popular designers, but we never recommend them for work. You are not top of mind, not because you don't come here regularly. Coming from Nati, Jesus come. I still won't recommend you. Why? Because I don't think they are good enough, and I don't know what to compromise because every time I recommend you, my own integrity is on the way. So But I would recommend people who don't have my phone number. I'll go into their DM and say, send me your phone number. There's a work available and I think you are the best fit for it. It's because of his work. It has nothing to do with because I know him or I don't. I'm placing a bet on a skill, not on my familiarity with.
Wow. I'll stick to that.
To that.
Okay. Now, there's this stress on rookie newbies on wanting to wear many hats, especially within the design. You want to do graphic design, you want to do brand design, logo design, motion design, UI, UX, and the likes of that, which we can understand why they're applying through that path as per the Nigerian demographic specifically. And I'm not trying to limit it to Nigeria. The internet is bigger than Nigeria, but within the Nigerian demographic,
Using Nigeria as a case.
using Nigeria as a case study in this case now, you are more preferably as a generalist than a specialist. I think many would agree to that with context. What would you advise for rookie designers who are just starting out? Should they actually specialize or generalize?
I think we need to reframe the question that because even beyond the context of Nigeria, at the current epoch we are in technology, because we are at the cutting edge of new technology, we are literally experiencing a blast out of AI assisted productivity. This is the time more than ever to become a generalist. So beyond Nigerian context, you have to prove you are multifaceted and you are capable of driving value through assisted technology to max out or scale up whatever you are delivering. So originally, it was because in the Nigerian context, a startup is usually cash crunched. They don't have so much money to spend. So they need high talent density. One person who can do 3, 4, 5 things. So that by the time they hit PMF, they can start look out for specialists to come in and do other things. But even now, you hear things like design engineer.
Yeah, I saw
They want you to become both a developer and a designer because now that AI has sort of made barrier into productivity or to do execution speed is faster because of AI, you have someone to assist in brainstorming, in ideation, in anything that has to do with quality thinking. The rate at which you churn out idea is faster. The rate at which you execute is faster in code and even in design. So they expect you to be able to do much more. The expectation on you, that threshold, is higher now. So one person, and then they say we are at the age of micro branding. One person can be able to do 4, 5 things. Why? Because he's assisted by AI. Same thing applies now to a designer. They expect you to come as a whole package. So it's no longer a Nigerian thing. I'm just putting it out there. Outside people start to value you more when they know that having you means that a larger portion of all the moving parts are settled around design. It's not that having you now, they start thinking of someone who help them icon, someone help them with logo, someone has to help them with UI, UX, and all. If they find someone who is crazy proficient at all of those things individually and knows how to harmoniously bring them together, it's not going to be a Nigerian thing, even outside the country. Yeah. Okay. So, but I'd always said this beyond this discussion that for every designer, I'll say follow the triangle format. The triangle format means the base is flat and white. Don't narrow it. Don't flip it. Don't narrow it down and say this is just one thing. Because as the base is wide, as you keep going in your design journey, you start to narrow it down till you specialize at something. Do multiple things. Keep going at it. You start to realize what catches your fancy, what is taking more of your time, what is bringing higher reward. And then you start to narrow in on those things. You maximize for yes. Still get to that point where you become a specialist at one thing, but you are still broad under at the base. Catch. You can still do a lot of things. So I always favor the triangle growth format. Start going like that. But in the age of AI, it is not a complete square format. That base, you need not become specialist at one thing at the expense of other. You literally can go have a solid wide base
on as many as you
solid wide top surface area. So your surface area of impact is actually wide from base to top.
just you're growing to know it's like
You're actually going because there's AI now.
where
And when I keep saying there's AI, there's a lot of expectation on everybody, not just designers, across all professional industries. There's a lot of expectation on you. So they want people, a lot of times they'll say many hats. But now it's no longer a many hats. They just need you productive. Ouch. It's just one now. They expect it to be a normal workflow for you. So Yes. For the rookie, you don't need to. We are all rookie, like I said, in comparison to what I'm still a rookie in comparison to where I want to get to. So you meet a lot of designers, and the reason why I would recommend the triangle format, at least even if you still might not end up having a square growth format or a rectangular growth format, still the triangular one will still make you relevant for the coming years. I'm saying this because I mean people tell me that their specialty is just logo design. That's what they brand themselves as. And someone else who logo design is part of his skill set, but doesn't consider himself primarily a logo designer, still designs logo better than you. What you would take a lot of time to do and will still not be good enough, it will effortlessly do it once and it will hit the pass mark. So don't belittle yourself. Don't limit yourself. At the same time, if you are going into specialization at the long run, ensure this one thing you claim you want to do.
Like so well.
Ensure this one thing you are claiming you are good at. Please be. Let it be that no people look at your work and there's no argument. There's no need for argument. Okay. I need no other argument. I see your work and I'm like, no, yeah, this is his specialty. Not that what you are claiming to be a specialty, someone is doing UI UX will be a logo for the work he's doing, and the logo is still far better off and communicates a better story than yours. So just ensure if you specialization you want to go into at the short run, don't bother yourself. Don't bother yourself with tags and titles and name. Explore your passion. Over time, start optimizing for what gives you higher reward, higher sense of fulfillment. What you find yourself doing most times, it will come naturally. You just zero into it. You don't need to say, oh, I want to become this, and then explore your everything that it tickles your fancy, and then sort of notice whatever you're narrowing down on and double down on mix.
Yes, great. Love that. Thank you. Can you share some personal rituals that you have done over the years? Some, personal habits that you've constantly practiced that has helped maintain your creativity and also has helped enhance your productivity throughout your career?
There was a time I did marathon design. What people call 100 days of design. I didn't give it a tag or a title. Mine was even crazy because I was doing one brand design a week. So
Wow, brand design.
yes, like full logo, illustration, icons, explore the color palettes, put it on mockups, design flyers, design brand assets, social media assets, print assets.
So you are the reason why they used to say we should deliver a brand design project in 5 days.
It was crazy because I did not hold back. Nobody was there to tell me, I know this is my professional way. I'm terrible with advice again. So I like trying things out myself. Even if people say we have never done before, you probably may be spoiling me on with unknown. If you say it cannot be done, I'm not an it cannot be done kind of guy. We will try it. If we fail, we fail. We'll take responsibility. So that's how I was doing it for a whole year. 1 week after the other, I was churning out. If I don't design a brand in a week, at least I'll do illustration. So it was a weekly thing because I had client works on the side I was working. That was before I joined Risevest fully. One brand design project a week. So I always had this thing. My head was always running. My mind was always ticking with new ideas. St. Louis Sugar, whatever I rebranded it. My mind was very open to wonder. Wonder and wonder. Or like wonder. WNDR and WNDR. So I could just look at something big barrier and I say I want to rebrand it. So it was not something vague or something. It did not have to be a new idea, but the process and the brand identity had to be new. I did that for a long time. It was on that Lenovo file that anytime I think about it, I just feel just so no way. Yeah, so I did that a lot. And I did a lot. Sometimes I could just take a whole week and try out isometric illustration. Now what's even in this thing? Try it, I watch all the videos available for it, and then so it was a weekly practice of just taking on design challenges for myself. It was part of my passion for design. I still do it now, but I don't do it at that scale again. Maybe just one screen. Yeah, that's well. 3 or 4 illustrations because I have a lot of work that I'm so busy. So I really don't have time for. I create time for personal works. I still do it every week, at least once a week. I don't post like I used to before, but I still do it at this every week. I do a design that could be illustration. I love illustration. Could be illustration, icon design, poster design. I still do poster design, even if I notice people don't do like I used to say before. Poster design for events. Still try my hands on it and all. So yeah.
I want to see Leye to say I still try my hands on it.
I see. I do. Is it shit?
That's great. That's great. Looking back on your journey, on your own journey, right? What was that thing? What would that thing be that you wish you had done differently or you had known as a beginner who was launching into design? What do you think? "Ah, I wish I had known this earlier. I wish I had done this earlier."
I wish I had not known the internet earlier.
Wow.
There's something about, I think I said it on our last episode. There's something about false consensus. Everybody does. It's all the reason why you even think I'm functional. I wish I came late to the internet. I still wish it from time to time that, I wish I stayed more time in my offline life, just designing things. Probably I would have gone faster than this. Probably. I think about it from time to time that I probably would have grown faster than this. So I will be starting on a new threshold when I come on the internet. But coming on the internet and probably being around people who are just learning design, you look like something else to them. That, how are you? How are you able to do this? Where are you coming from? And this and that. So yeah, I think about it from time to time that I should have spent some time offline. I should not have started posting early, but it all works together for me. I mean, I started making my money early because I came on the internet. But it's just this feeling of people think you're good enough, so you don't need to learn. So you always have to mentally snap out of it. A beginner's mindset. That's why I see creating to do other design. Some people look at me doing something, but I am not meant to be doing it. I'm meant to be delegating with I head. No. I still feel like I need to try my hands. I see some designs and you can just tell the hand that did this design I've been designing for years. When I mean years, I don't mean our kind of years. I mean for like 15, 20 years, this person has hands-on. So there's this thing of you just design for 5 years and boom, you want to be catapulted straight to senior design level. I mean, there are people who have been on that general design title for 10 years, mid-design title for another 10 years. Before they become SVP, they have spent 30 years in design. So when you see them designing, there's this gravity they do their designs with. And you just, even a simple text on a blank screen, you know that no, this is, design past design. They might call me senior designer in a day, but around this person, I'm an intern. So yeah, I became exposed to designers outside of the country, and I just realized that what was this thing with me just getting exposed early to the internet? But it's all good. So yeah, sometimes I feel like I should have spent more time designing for fun than designing for money. I still think about it from time to time that I need to go offline for like a month and just design. Nobody needs to see my designs and just look at it yourself and evaluate it from a genuine perspective. It doesn't look at what people will pay 10 million for or 15 million for.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Social media brings a lot of pressure. Right.
Pressure and false consensus. You could post a design that I would see, independently judge that, okay, maybe 7/10. But everybody comment and tell you it's 100/10.
Fire.
No kilo, so you they deliver. So the false consensus sometimes can give you a false sense of your own ability, a bloated sense of your design skill, because in comparison to who? And who are the people giving you accolades? Are they the people you admire? Okay, yes. So yeah, one thing that gives me peace of mind that doesn't make me feel like I'm an imposter from time to time is that I check my following. I have quality followings. I rate everybody. They are not just numbers to me. Everybody who I follow matters to me. But when I check the quality of the designs of some of the people who follow me, other than my Nigerian brothers, like people who are here with the co-designers, when I check people who I admire and they follow me back and some of them send me a DM of, mate, you're crazy good.
Yeah. It's out there.
I feel that sense of yes.
Yeah.
I'm making progress in my career. When some of them invite me to join their stand-up, so equality following also matters to me. So that's one of the benefits of the internet. That I missed all the complaints I have in my head of how did I get here. Some of the I do not speak with the other now. Maybe I'll say it offline. Some of the comments I've gotten on my designs in DM, not even on comments, inside the DM from big shots, make me realize that I'm this one. I'm not entirely wrong. I'm not entirely an imposter.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not entirely an imposter. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. No, actually, I would also use opportunity to say it again and again. I want to also thank you for the impact you've actually brought to the design community, specifically within the Nigerian demographic and Africa at large. I mean, you've impacted even other African countries. We've seen you've traveled and all, you've spoken. So thank you. I'm sure there's quite a number of persons who would also say thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You've done us well. Thank you. And
I would say thank you to everybody too. They did the same.
thank you.
It's so that we have a mature design ecosystem. So sort of credence to how designers are brought in and how they go. Thank you for what you do.
I appreciate. Thank you very much. Do you have any course or materials available for rookies should they want to?
We have been working on one since forever. But I need my sales to catch up with me, but I just never knew on an interview. Okay, yeah, so we have been working on one since forever. We have a community where I do videos and I post videos every day, but in a more structured format, I've been working on one where there's going to be a website and you have an account and you see all the videos. And then in a very structured flow format. And then there's also a knowledge map of, if I want to learn UI UX, what are the things you should know? Then the system will give you must learn, understand fundamentals of color, understand. So, and those courses, the videos, the recommendations of the things you should know, the videos will be beside you. Understand color fundamentals, understand typography, understand design fundamentals, like that. If I want to do poster design, you must understand fundamentals, and then the video. So it's quite a unique platform I've been working on. I'll say it's 50% complete. The other 50% is wrapping up with development. The content is not the problem. The design is great, but it's just wrapping up development. And the bandwidth of my friends, my brothers actually, they are more than friends, who are also my devs, is next is them. The bandwidth is exhausted. So I know I cannot beg them to continue that. They're already working on something else that is not design related.
Definitely, I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to that.
You have seen it, so yes.
I mean,
The whole
yes,
internet
yeah,
is looking forward to that.
yeah, the whole internet will. I've seen it. I've had a sneak peek. Well done, cheers. So we'll definitely be looking forward to that. For the whole internet, we're looking forward to that. And I want you to wrap this session up by telling us what would you say would be your most valuable piece of advice to rookie designers who are getting in now, about to get in, or they are already in.
You cannot design outside of your exposure. You feed your mind with quality designs. Follow quality designers. Feed your mind with quality design. One of the things that has been like a net positive for me is the fact that the kind of standard I had when I started that design was crazy. They were stratospheric. I remember the image they will laugh at me that you like beating this guy. Like I used to follow Ram Motion there. So I followed design studios, not designers. I was following design studios on Instagram, not designers. I was looking at studios. So I look at what 4 or 5 people did. Me, one person,
Want to do that?
I want to do it. So I had impossibly high standards at the early stage and it has paid off. So don't make one person your standard. Where you can, it will become refined as you go on your design journey. But have that almost delusional kind of standard of where you want to get to. For me, it was looking at the design studio and wanting to do everything everybody's doing on the design studio. See the icon, take the icon project, spend 3 days on it till it looks exactly what I saw. See the poster designs, you'll construct it like that. So I remember following Ram Motion, Hello Monday, as far back as then, years ago now. Too Big Studio. Hey God. So I was following them. So yes, we cannot design outside of your exposure. You need to constantly feed your mind with quality designs so you to regurgitate it. I'm saying it so you don't look at someone on Twitter. Probably in Nigeria. I'm not coming to you.
I mean, we understand. Yeah.
Nigeria, the design industry, we ask me, is still young in Nigeria. We have history that we may not have codified properly into design, but when I look at the international community compared to us, our design is still young. Our industry is still nascent. It's still at the nascent stage. It's the emancipation of fintech and the elevation of the Nigerian economy through tech that has really allowed for design to shine. For the most part, it was more of artistry work that was shining in Nigeria. So we are still quite young in design in Nigeria. So I'm saying this because I don't think I've met anybody who boasts of designing products for the past 40 years or 30 years. So, but we have them outside the country. So please look for standards that are quite high. That anybody you tell will laugh at you that, then start running. Hit the ground running, but not the kind of hit the ground running we all know.
We were on the ball. Should together.
Hit the ground running. And focus more on your journey than on it. The praises people will give you. Sometimes people experience stunt growth in their design career because they warmed up too early to accolades. Or they unknowingly became needs of people telling them they are good. So you slowly did not realize it, but you could not do without people telling your designs are good. So you became victim of false consensus. And I mean, because a lot of people tell your designs are good, and the people telling you are people who don't know jack about design. People are just starting a design or your own contemporaries, and because they kept feeding your ear with it, they are good, they are good, they are good. You sort of experience stunt growth. You don't listen to criticism. Nobody can criticize your work, and you have a very false. You become arrogant. You have a false sense of your ability to design. That the worst terrible versus ever work or collaborate because nobody can tell you your designs are not good enough. So avoid that. Focus on your targets. Let your eye be single. I'm telling you the best picture. Let your eye be single and just focus on this status, this whatever crazy standard you have placed on yourself. That's the one thing you should try and hit. I hit my first standard I created for myself when I got the biggest accolade of my life. Someone on Ethereum platform looked at my design, wow, and said, "This is the best thing I've ever seen on Web3." I still relieve it from time to time, but let's not go into all of that. So that's great.
I mean, but we're wrapping up here, and you mentioned something about exposure, and I just wanted to touch a bit on it, especially for design rookies, newbies who are just coming into the platform and all. There's this trend.
Okay.
I'm trying not to call it a mirage, but there's this trend.
It's a mirage, but nobody you say it's the best. A day of up. And if they beat us together, so we.
You know, there's this mirage that collect your money and go. Especially if you're just starting out. Nobody wants to do free work. And we're not saying do free work at the same time, but
Thank you for bringing
the
this.
importance of exposure that you mentioned, right? Touch on that.
The man I did design for a pastor, his church, he saw my design on someone's status during my service and he loved it and said he wanted to design for his church. The price he was paying me, he knew that that's not the price I was meant to get. This man travels a lot. He's an accountant. He's a chartered accountant. He travels a lot. Renowned consultant. Anything accounts. I think he worked for one of the big four. But how much was he paying me then? I think 2,000 per design. I can't remember.
That's in Naira.
In Naira. And I did not mind. I just loved working for him. He was my first client. And I was just starting. Why am I to be commanding a higher price? Plus, I didn't even know about pricing so much. I love the craft. This man traveled to 4 countries. It was my inroad into those 4 countries. When you talk about exposure, I've been a beneficiary of it. He went to Italy. He's a redeemed pastor. The redeemed church in Italy were designing and he didn't like design. I was like, I have a designer in Nigeria who does incredibly well. I agreed price with him. So I charged, he was paying 2,000. I can't remember. And the people in Italy said, how much would you pay per design? I think he told them 10,000. He called 5 times whatever price he was paying me for them over there. That's how I started designing for people in Italy. And from there, church members saw the design. They were like, this design, we like it too. People were working in their workplace, collected my number and asked me to do design. One was doing wine business, collected my number, and that was my biggest contract from Italy. A wine company. He told me, do I do brand? I said, yes, I do brand. Remember I told you I was doing weekly acting. So he gave me, it started from me doing design at next to nothing, 2,000 naira for a man who travels everywhere. He was the one announcing me. I did designs for Redeemed Church in Italy, UK. Because from doing the design for people there are other folks in the church. I did design for their respective businesses and all. And I'm trying to remember I know there were like 3 countries that it was my inroad into those countries. Because those were the countries he was frequenting. He was traveling to regularly. I'm trying to remember, I think there was one African country he traveled to again. He's a visiting pastor. So he went there and he saw that their design so not good. So he had this habit of everywhere he traveled to. The first thing he looks out for is
That design.
So I started making solid money from poster designs. When I started designing for churches outside the country, majorly churches. From churches to the individual business owners inside the church. So it started because, how much was he paying me? If I said that, no, he was literally giving me exposure on steroids, on a platter. And he would say it's my money. He never asked me for free design because of it. Although he wasn't paying much. But he did something for me. Every design I gave for him. Even when the day has passed, he will still leave it up his status. A lot of his colleagues who were pastors, we always, my inroad into design probably largest time on poster design. I did a lot of poster design. A lot. And His name is Pastor Onfe. I'm always grateful for him. I sent him a very lengthy appreciation message when I woke up one day, because I thought about how I've been helped greatly by people who spoke about me. I probably would not have gone to where I am. Beyond design, I make quality connections from those people I work for outside the country. Someone almost paid for my flight. My passport was an issue, just to come and talk about creativity in his company for his design team. Like, I can't even count. I mean, this was a long time ago, maybe 2019 ish, when people wanted to start calling me to come travel down and just come and talk about design, because they noticed how energetic and exercising I was with design. How did I come about that? It was exposure. I was designing for next to nothing. Again, he never asked me to design for free, but he wasn't paying me like I would have wanted to be paid. I mean, other people I was designing were paying, the list was 5,000 if they don't pay at all. But for it, I never collected more than 2,000 up. And I would do like 10-15 designs a month for him. So he would pay me just 20,000 per month. 10-15 designs, 10,000 per month. And I mean, fun fact is, you still design for his church today. That's my own way of saying thank you, sir. So, but he doesn't pay 10,000 me. So yeah.
Wow.
A lot of Nigerian clients are bastardized the extension. It's just like what do they call this? A magic wand. They just say, I will give you exposure or bow. And it's all a lie. Fix it. It's all fake. So designers shouldn't focus more on providing value. You probably might not get the same value back now. But I promise you, by the time the value start coming in back, you will not lose anything you have done at all. You own it. You own it. That's my own confidence. So don't that's my own bane of the internet. Don't compare yourself with someone who's saying that if you don't pay 4 million, he's not doing jack. That's the stage he is in his career.
Yeah.
It may genuinely be worthy of that 4 million. That stage, you that you are just starting out, and I can look at your design and see alignment issue. You are not saying that you too, if they don't pay you 20,000, you are never meant to ask for money yet. You are meant to ask for classes, not money. Offense to nobody. If anybody is angry, it is who fought who came for it. Being normal. So yeah, it's again, and then for people who are incredibly good, people do design sometimes for people it's value you are giving. Don't forget, and sometimes the best way to collect that value back is not just in monetary terms. It's sometimes in relationship. Relationship they introduce, the people they introduce. I have been a great beneficiary of introduction. Some people just call you for a number. Are you Leye? Yes, so I got a number from so and so. I like you to do. They don't have to help. So far, the whole offer has never asked for a portfolio. They see the design, they give my number to someone else. So again, like I said during the call, every of my design is a token of marketing material.
Yeah.
It will speak itself. It will speak about me. You will ask, you will call. And the person giving you the call will always tell you that. And that's why I said I've been privileged to have really, really kind clients. They inflate the price. Whatever I charge them, they will add $1 million or $2 million when they're telling someone else. The price is expensive, but you see this thing, we did. You will have no reason to complain. I've been a good beneficiary. Down to Rwanda. That's a discussion for another.
Wow. Thank you so much, Leye.
Thank you for.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm so grateful.
I'm happy doing this.
I'm elated. I'm just out of this. Thank you so much.
I hope you stop using that part.
There is a. We are going to come on that for a different episode. We are coming on that for a different episode.
Okay.
So don't worry. We are coming on that for. Thank you very much for being on this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you.
Designstration.
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 Designstration.